Hey, what's going on, Dominique? What up, Bill, Chris, G Money? Yeah, I didn't have it muted. I try not to say anything. What's up, Manadas? I'm here clicking away, doing some posts, letting everybody know I'm going live. Nick was busy. He's going to be back. He's free, I think, the next 3 nights, so we'll get back to our usual setup. I wanted to go here live from my desk again just to do a quick setup, quick talk. I've updated somewhat on Twitter and on the Discord with Nick and I, kind of a few thoughts today, but just wanted to go live here. So, what's up, Cameron? I'm gonna give it a minute, let a few more people get in here. Let things get a little more rocking. If you got anything you want me to go over, give me a shout out. We're gonna do Bitcoin, Ethereum. I'm gonna talk about Square real quick. Stock market opened down 500, closed down 66. We'll go over the technometer readings, bonds, gold and silver, you name it. Again, we're going to let a few more people get in here before we get started. Bitcoin's been holding in nicely. I think pretty impressive. No doubt, Dominique, things are a little easier now with the markets firming up. I think the lows are in. I think I'll show here, but I think we just got further upside before a correction. Now, last year was kind of tough, but definitely getting a little bit better now. The medical stock I talked about was the symbols of Vita Medical Limited, AVMXY, back down to 5.47. We talked about that around $1.50. It went to 7 plus. Topped out around 760 or so. I can show that here as well. I mean, it jumped on big volume on good news. It's had somewhat an ABC pullback, so it's probably good here, but definitely not down to $1.50 where we talked about it. So AVMXY, Avita Medical. They got some their burn equipment is doing really well in hospitals. That was the news I gave there 6 months ago. We got a few more in here. I'm sure there's going to be some more trickling in. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, Bitcoin here. I got it up here with no labeling, just to show where we're at. Then I'm going to go ahead and throw. Let's talk about the long and shorts. Again, this is just Bitfinex, but I think it's telling you what the general market's doing. You can see the red line down here. We went to a new high on the shorts since going back to January 1st or so. So shorts are still in here shorting this market, which continues to be a problem for them. I've seen a few tweets showing people's underwater, really going, some people talking about going underwater back here at 6,000 because none of these shorts have worked and they're increasing. The line down at the bottom is the green. Longs are not chasing it. So these two things are still supportive of further rally in Bitcoin. The orange line here is the net result. You can see it's back here at the major low numbers. I think you've got to look at that and be comfortable, but there's going to be some buying pressure. What's up, Blog? Lodak? So if we get rid of that, go back to, these are the buy signals that we've given. A lot of people said, where's the sells? I haven't really had any sells because volume has not chased this rally. So our technometer is not giving us a sell. So these are the buys I've had with no sells, which really is a big year to have those buys with no sells. So I don't think anyone's been hot as these markets have as Nick and I. So I think we're still going to subdivide higher. I'll show my technometer readings here in a minute. I want to go, this is a roadmap I've been showing. I've pretty well been spot on here. So let's If you recall, this is I kind of changed my count to a 3-4 here in the white. And I had 5 waves up from here. It kind of looks like we did the wave 1. And 2 could be done, or 2 we could work on with a little bit of selling tonight. I don't want to get caught up on the Elliott wave count because if you know me, I own Wyckoff, SMI.com, and LearnCrypto.io, the original institute Richard Wyckoff started. I do throw Elliott wave labelings on my charts really after the fact to help me with the roadmap. So I don't know if we're, I think somewhere here we're just going to continue to subdivide higher. I'm not sure about these 3, 4s, and 5s, but I think I'm close to it. So we'll monitor this as we go. So far it's been okay. I think ultimately we get above 7,000, and then when people start deciding the lows are in, that's probably when we'll have a pretty big ABC pullback to, let's say, 5,000, which would be previous 4th wave supports, which if you follow Elliott wave, that would be a natural support on the pullback. Bright spot today, Ethereum up 7%, 11 bucks today. Again, our buys from our software marked on here. We did have an Elliott wave buy here. We thought this was a flat correction ending possibly, or triangle forming. We was a little off on that call, but that was around 161 and change, I think, 159, 161. And today's action, you can see here, the 4 big bars here, green. I know a couple of Wyckoff students say, hey, is this a jump across the creek? You could easily say that sign of strength there, maybe not a jump. Be nice to see a little more strength, maybe a little more volume. So, but that's pretty good action coming out of Ethereum today. So, and I did tweet, if you follow Wyckoff on crypto, let's look at this real quick. That's the Ethereum daily. You can see down here yesterday at the bottom we had a technometer reading down there around 40. 38's oversold. 40 is getting close. We did register some 39s here farther to the left. And that led to today's rally. And then you look intraday, the green arrow or the blue arrows are showing the volume down the bottom graph, the OP, which is volume for anybody new here, has been continuing to hit new lows while price held really strong here. That gave us this rally today. So I think 159 is important support. If you want to add the longs, which you could do here, I'll show that, but on any pullback tonight, maybe back here 170 or so, buy a 170 with a 159 sell stop, could work. If you're long overextended, 159 might be a stop loss in case we do have a bigger pullback. But I like the action in Ethereum. Litecoin 74.50. We mentioned this 5-wave C wave ending here in red. Down here at 65, we got a quick run to 81 over the weekend, and a pretty big pullback to 70 and change. So we've had a good 24 hours here. Litecoin, I still think will work higher with Bitcoin and Ethereum. What's up, Dustin? So I still like that. XRP won't get off the mat. We're showing the spring in the test if you're a Wyckofian. And nothing's been wrong on this chart yet. It'd be nice if it would just get going. I got a feeling a move above 0.335 will get it going. I'd be long here, and I'd probably add if we got a higher print. NEO I've been on, a little disappointing action, got up to, 1070, 1088, I guess, 1080 or so. Came back down and checked the low again, so not impressed by the last 2 days' action, but still long there. We had some lower buys and some higher buys, so really we're just even with small losses possibly on a net position. So nothing exciting there. And what? BAT did break down again. I was trying to buy a spring here. So definitely further weakness there. I think it will recover, but that one probably, as I mentioned before, had a buying climax, needed some sideways action for a while. That one's a little disappointing here. BNB, a stayed firm, still looks pretty good. And talked about Decred, 27.27. We thought that one was a jump and a pullback. We mentioned it down here around 23, 24, so that one's should be able to get going here again. I think that'll lead us higher. Then we've got KMD, buck 12. That's one I gave a buy down here, 93, 94. Had a stop below the lows, but I'd probably move the stop up more to like 96 level. That one should be able to keep going. Somebody mentioned Link when we opened up. Link had a good run and been sideways, but that one's coming alive again. I would expect that one to jump resistance and keep going. Let's do, I think I got ENJ down here at the bottom, maybe. ENJ USD. I mean, I would think this is accumulation, and then this is reaccumulation. So here's support, which we just came down to touch. So I would think that one's worth a stab in the dark here to be long. So I think I wouldn't mind being long ENJ here. I'm not long that. I wouldn't be scared of it. Again, back to bat. Let's look at the daily here. I mean, if you go back and look at the daily, I mean, you could say that you know, this here would be a creek. So we're doing the you know, we had big volume, as everybody knows, on the way up. Volume isn't heavy here, so you could call this a little ABC pullback for a backup to the creek, which, as everyone would know, that's an extremely bullish chart pattern. That doesn't mean there couldn't be some more downside here, but again, I wouldn't be scared of having bat. But ultimately now, Bitcoin, I've been saying, is kind of the lead dog, and that's still kind of the case. ONT USD. That's the daily. So we showed kind of a jump here and a low volume pullback, a resistance, and we had a good markup. Then we really retraced about 50%. So I would expect ONT to hold in here as well. I'm still friendly. You know, I think there's just more upside. I think we're going to keep working higher, and some of these coins will get chased higher. Then let's go over to the stocks real quick. This is the SPY. Dow opened down 500 overnight, closed down 66. We put ourselves back together. Big volume down here. Biggest volume since March 22nd. Technometer 42. So my week in review that you can sign up for free at wyckoffsmi.com. I was leaning to a pullback. Today's recovery is impressive, but I guess I think there's probably still some more downside. TLT, everybody knows I'm long. Opened up higher and pulled back some with the late rally in stocks. Technometer's 48, so still long here. Would like to see some strength. GDX, I mentioned oversold on the technometer. You can see over here, did a 34 reading. I'm probably going to chase some strength, maybe above 2060 tomorrow would be friendly. I think GDX could be putting in a backup to a creek. Maybe we're doing that, doing a 50% pullback to the previous backup. So maybe we're going to be able to say there's a backup. This was the jump. Be interesting if that plays out. That's not picture perfect, but we got an oversold technometer, so I'm going to maybe give that the benefit of the doubt. Shopify, been a hog. I mentioned this longer term. Fundamentally, I think they got their shit together. This was a short-term trade I did with pro traders. I'm still long that for my Schwab accounts. No, James, I do no fundamentals. I own Wyckoff SMI, which is the technical school. I don't really need any fundamentals even on stocks. I mentioned it on Shopify because I've got some friends whose business has exploded by moving to Shopify. And I think with Kylie Jenner, Kanye West, Drake, and those guys on Shopify, I just think that's where the young crowd's going to go. That's why I've been on Shopify. So this one I think is a home run still. We've had a big 7 days of green bars here. It might pull back somewhere, but I think that's the one that's going to continue higher. What's up, Taj? And then let's go back to Square. This is one software has been really good on. It did give me a buyback here and then a sell on the bad earnings, so I lost about $1.50 on a quick long. It is down here at the dotted line or the dashed line, somewhat support. I mean, today it opened down sharply in lockstep with the markets and then reversed it and closed up nicely. Technometer's 40, so again, I don't know. I think I'm going to watch that one here and see about trying to pick it up again. And then one more UUP, the long dollar ETF. I'd love to be short this. I'm not. Technometer down here, extreme oversold. And I got to let that thing play off. So let's go back to DigiByte. Not going to have much to say on DigiByte. That's the DigiByte USD. Could be accumulation. I mean, this is definitely some type of selling climax over here with all the red bars. But I would have thought it could have done better. So DigiByte wouldn't be the first one on my list. But to own it here might work out. And then let's bring in the software. This is Bitcoin USDT. You can see Technometer gave us some buys down in here. And then Technometer is 45.9. It did make a 47.3. Back here at 45.9. Considering the bull trend that we're in, we're not in a trading range. So 38 is a buy, 50 is a sell, kind of for trading range action. And a uptrend, you really probably got to say 52 is more of a sell. So we're at 46. So that would support more upside. You can see the OP has not gone to a new high as price did. So I wish the volume would come in here better. But at the moment, let's go to the 5-minute chart. The 5-minute really doesn't give us any reason to be concerned. So I still think we're higher. James, to manage a crypto portfolio, it's 3% of the account balance annually. We charge that 1/4 quarterly. So if you got 100,000, we'd be hitting the account 750 every quarter. 4 of those would be 3,000, which is 3% of 100,000. We send you the bill. We do not take it from the account. We only have the right to manage, trade, view. We cannot withdraw or transfer. So 3%. On the stock side, if you open an account at Charles Schwab, which I can do for people, I'll trade stocks for you, probably more around the 2% annual. Again, billed 1/4 quarterly. We can kind of do it together, or you can leave me in charge. This is the 5-minute Bitcoin USDT going back a month. Let this load. Shout out to 227 people. Again, if you want to learn more about Wyckoff, go to learncrypto.io. We got a $300 course Or if you go to wyckoffsmi.com, we got the full course started by Mr. Wyckoff in 1931 at $1,000. So here on the volume, you can see new lows over here while price held. That's why we was bullish back here. And so far we had a rally off of there. We've had sideways, almost looks like a triangle and everything here. You could say A, B, C, D, and we're working on an E. And you know, this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means we'd run up to 6,000, 6,100. Then have another one of these $300, $400 pullbacks, which gets everybody bearish, gets the bulls all excited. Or gets the bears excited, scares the bulls a little bit, and then we just continue higher. So, you know, it's funny, a lot of people trading these markets are getting nowhere instead of just trying to stay long. These are the times where you want to stay long. You don't want to try to be cute. There's been a lot of times here. I mean, this is a $5,400 break down to 48.50. Look, huge bearish. That didn't work. We had to move up here to 5,600 down to 5,100. Big break. That didn't work. I mean, this one over here was huge bearish looking. 4,200 to 3,700. That happened in like, what, minutes? And then it took it forever. Gave you a million reasons to be short until it took off. So I still say nobody's on this thing. And the software's kept us on the long side. Elliott wave, you'd have to say somehow we keep subdividing higher as I've been showing. And you know, probably the only thing I wish was a little different is I wish Litecoin was a little bit higher. I mean, it had a hell of a run. And it did have the quick run to 80, 81 yesterday, so I think you can do it again. I mean, we're basically profitable on all of our buy signals. We've had, what, about 8 of them. The Elliott wave buy, we're still a little bit underwater. That was around 77.50. I put that on there just because that was more of an Elliott wave reason I bought that, because I thought we might be doing a triangle. But so far, so good. We've had a good year. Let's keep it moving forward. So that's about 25 minutes. I think that's everything I got to go over. I will say if you go to learncrypto.io, where we at here, to the blog, how the collapse of a football league is tied to crypto's biggest banking scandal. That's kind of an interesting read if you want to check it out. Kind of a cool article. What's up, Stock Jockey? Everex, don't really follow that one. But that EVX, I believe. Let me see if I got that one on the screen here. EVX. I'm going to do EVX USD Binance. Up 20%. Look at the 4-hour. Hold on a second. What the hell did I just do? Where's the Everex? EVX USD. There we are. 4-hour. Go back to the daily to get a look at this thing. Obviously, it's way off the high when you go to the daily. Let's slide this one out a little bit. Might have to like this. It had the huge rally after this accumulation on big green bars here. We retraced, I'm sure, about 0.618 or so.
Show me the money.
So then today's action. Let's zero in on that more on the 15-minute. I'd have no problem being long, even with the 19%. I think this is probably a decent one here. So let's go back. Hold on, I'm gonna go to hourly. Thanks for the $4.99. On Litecoin, I just said I thought we had a big rally there. I mean, a little disappointing. At EVX, I think I'd be long here, not worry about it. I think I can go higher. Litecoin, I mean, I think short term the big move's behind it, but I guess I would think this could have been easy a 1-2 off the bottom or an A-B, so I still see something up here in the 88 level. And then, maybe Bitcoin. I'm not going to be bearish Litecoin until Bitcoin puts a top in. So I think Litecoin will put itself back together and still work higher. So again, don't know the count, Elliott wave count. Maybe it's as I have here, and that could be a a wave 4. So we could go to new highs. So I think you want to be long and just step back and see how much you can rally here. All right, guys, Bitcoin 57.50 up here at the top. Looks like a little pork blaster forming. Don't know where that fits into the picture. Again, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we could have a move down to 5,600 here overnight, and then get the rally started in high gear again. Anybody new here? Because we got a lot more people in here at the moment. Let's go back. 4-hour Bitcoin with some Elliott wave markings. I've been kind of having a roadmap here, which I've been good on. So, I had it marked. We're in a 1-2, still a move. Let's just say 6,300. Mouse around, get everybody bearish again here, and then in the yellow sideways, and then another new high. So. Don't trade based off of this, please, because this is just a guess. Technometer's 46 on Bitcoin, so we still have room for further rally. Again, this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this could be, new high could be the end of a rally, and then have an ABC pullback, which we probably would have a buy signal on. So hopefully everybody's long from lower levels, and we can just get further strength here. So dudes, I think that's it. 30 minutes, that's about all I can do, I think. I'm pretty well, just wanted to go over a few things I tweeted about. If you don't understand Wyckoff, I'd recommend the $2.99 course at learncrypto.io. If you're really wanting to get into Wyckoff, I'd do the $1,000 course at wyckoffsmi.com. Hit me up if you're on YouTube, and I'll give you a discount. Later, Wogs. Dominique, 6,500. I'm showing here 7,200, but that would change. I could see a 6,500, then maybe a 5,800, and then still maybe another new high above 65, the way I'm thinking right now. Somewhere here, we're going to have an ABC pullback. We'll probably get the bears happy again after they give up. If the Elliott wave counts right. Otherwise, I'm just going to wait for the software. Hopefully give me some type of buy or sell. The only thing wrong here is you got new highs on Bitcoin USDT and price hasn't. But that's because you've had this big selling over here with an oversold reading back here. So I think we still got higher in place for now. Chris NZ, welcome. And let me see if I can give you a wrench. Gave you a wrench, Chris. Appreciate it. And again, Nick and I may be live tomorrow night, not sure. Any big action during the day, there would be a good chance I'll jump on here from my desk and give an update. Otherwise, that's all I got. And let's look for higher prices still. I will check you guys out later.
afternoon. My name is Richard D. Wyckoff. Anyone who is interested in the stock, option, or commodity markets is most likely to find my life and teachings to be of great interest and value. I was born November 2nd, 1873. At the age of 15, I had my first job as a stock runner on Wall Street, and by age 25, I had opened my first brokerage firm. I was one of the pioneers in the study of the tape and included volume studies in all my market operations. This volume and its intraday studies is what set me apart from the rest of the market gurus. There was a point that my buy and sell following was so big that it became a powerful part of the daily market. It was at this time that I became known as one of the titans of technical analysis. But all along, my lifelong endeavor was to pass on my accumulated wisdom to others. With that in mind, in 1907, I created the magazine of Wall Street. At its height, the magazine of Wall Street had over 200,000 subscribers. That's over 200,000 investors who wanted my thoughts on the current market conditions and trends. Finally, in 1931, I decided to take all my knowledge that I had learned about the stock market and create the Richard D. Wyckoff course of stock market science and technique. I was able to create something that established a new standard of practice in the public stock market operations. I did not claim any monopoly of stock market knowledge, but up to that time, no one else seemed willing to be so frank in offering to the public the most intimate knowledge of the inner workings of the stock market. The good news is that even though I created the Wyckoff stock market course back in 1931, the course has been maintained and updated throughout the years and is available to you today. Over 90 years later, my course is still available for investors and traders that want to learn the secrets to the stock market and can be found right now at wyckoffsmi.com.